Welcome to Silver Pros, sponsored by Hero Bullion. I am Silver Dragons, and I'm here with my co-host Yankee Stacking. What's up, Yankee?
Hey SD, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. And tonight we're gonna discuss the best silver to stack in
Mm,
2021.
And that's a great question. You're the one who came up with the topic, I think, and it's a poignant one because we've got some challenges,
Yep.
don't we, this year?
Yes, yes, indeed. So, the best silver to stack changes. When I first
Mm,
started stacking, it was probably the American Silver Eagles. That's not the
Yep.
case anymore. So yeah, it is really important to stick with the times, I guess.
We have to be flexible, right? And that's tough for Yankee. I'm an old dude. I just turned 55 last week. So for me to be flexible and change or at least, pivot a little bit my strategies, sometimes that's a challenge. We get stuck in our ways. That's why I like talking with you, SD. You keep me young.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So we are going to talk about the best silver to stack this year. I'm going to give you my number one pick, and Yankee Stacking is going to give you his number one pick as well. We're going to go over a lot in this video, so stick around. But I think what we should start off with is why the cheapest type of silver is actually not the best. Because
Ooh.
yeah, I mean, we were actually thinking about a video idea, and one of the things we kicked around was, where to buy the cheapest silver, and that's pretty easy to do. But I think more important than that is why you should understand that the cheapest is not always the best, right?
It's hard. I mean, you want a deal, right? And so
Yeah.
you see a price and you're like, "Ooh, that's cheap. I'm going to buy that." And then sometimes you when you go to resell it or maybe something else is up with the silver, you find out, "Uh-oh, I blew it."
Yeah. So that's one thing you definitely need to learn. I think one of the most important things to understand is that really, really cheap silver could be fake, depending on
Mm,
where you're buying it from, right? So if you're buying it from like eBay or Instagram or Facebook, we'll go over some of the places to buy private party at the end of this video, but yeah, it could be fake. So if it's well under spot, it's probably
mhm.
too good to be true, right?
You buyer beware. Caveat emptor. That's what that means. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. In fact, SD, it just remembered somebody sent me a link just last week saying, "Hey, check this link out. Yankee, it looks like a great deal." And it was like an American Silver Eagle for, like $18.
Right.
And I'm like, "Wait a second here." And it's fake. It's garbage. We've seen this many times, right?
Yep.
They pop up and they rip you off. So you got to be very careful.
So, one of the other things about buying the cheapest type of silver is it might be hard to resell, or you might not get
Mhm.
as much for it when you go to resell it. So, there are some types of silver that, yeah, you can buy them really cheap, and I'm going to show you some of them right now, but you're not going to get spot. So, you ready for this, Yankee?
I am. Bring it on.
Okay, so we're going to show you this website here, and it is called findbullionprices.com. And there's
Hmm.
lots of different bullion dealers on here, but what we want to find is the cheapest silver per ounce, right?
I love this website, by the way. I used it a lot.
Right, right. And it is a great website, but there are definitely some things to be aware of. So,
Hmm.
the first thing that comes up, the rock bottom cheapest silver is war nickels. And I'm not surprised. Um, you know,
Hmm.
35% silver war nickels are always dirt cheap. They are over spot right now, but
Hmm.
they're hard to resell. They're so hard to resell. You'll never get spot for those, never. So you got to be aware of that. Same with the 40% Kennedys. This is another one that's always super cheap.
Right, right, right.
Really hard,
Very
really
cheap.
hard. I mean, you if even if you sell at private party, you probably won't even get spot, right?
Maybe, but if they know what they're doing, they probably won't. Right.
Right. And so, definitely got to be aware of that. This one
Hmm.
here, kilo silver bar, $4 over spot. That's not terrible, but again, with the big bars, not as much kilo, but definitely the 100 ounce bars,
Hmm.
you're gonna get under spot when you go to sell it. So if you're thinking you're gonna get spot, it might be a surprise to you. So you should be aware of that, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
Go ahead.
we're talking about selling this stuff, right?
Yeah, because
And I know a
eventually
lot of
people
people,
want to
right?
resell, usually.
Usually, unless they're holding it for
If you're
some
holding it for
other
life, then it
reasons.
doesn't matter. But
Once it's in the stack, it never goes back.
okay, but I'm just gonna quickly show you. You know, we got 40 percenters, and then we got 100
Yep.
ouncers, and by the time
Right.
we get all the way down to a generic silver round, we're already to like $5 over spot. Now this website doesn't show all of the bullion dealers, and they
Hmm.
don't show our sponsor. So what I wanted to do was show you Hero Bullion
Yeah.
actually does have some really competitive pricing, and you can even get a better deal than that. So
I was going to ask you why I didn't see Hero Bullion on that list. I'm not sure if it's biased or not, but yeah, I'm
I
really curious to see where where Hero falls
yeah
in line here.
the I talked to the guy who runs that website,
Yep.
and I don't know, they just haven't connected yet. But
Hmm.
check this out. The oh, how do you say this? Asahi?
Asahi? Yeah, Asahi.
The Asahi silver rounds here at Hero Bullion. You got to buy a whole monster box to get this price here, but you know that's what is that? That's under $5 premium.
That's for
So
500, right?
correct. Yeah, if you buy 100, then you're right about $5 premium because
Okay.
silver's 26.24 right now.
Yep. Volume. We've talked about this our last show, right? We talked about volume making a difference, getting the
Absolutely.
lowest price. Yep.
So, but I would say, this is a 1 ounce here. This is
Mm,
it is a silver round, but it's a little bit more on the premium side. I would say this is a killer deal right now. This is one of the best deals you can find online.
interesting. Sure. That's cool. Show the other side too. I like the
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This one,
yeah.
look at that,
Mm-hmm.
smoking piece.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that was just something I thought I should bring up because when you go to sell, you want to make sure you're going to get at least spot, and something like this, these generics, you'll get spot. So
Yeah.
something to be
That's
aware
cool.
of.
So is that the silver that you think is best for stacking in 2021? You're not going to say, are you? You're
It's
not
up
going to
there.
tell us.
It's up there.
Okay.
That's
Ah,
very high. I will tell you what I think is absolutely best, but I think we should cover why there's no best for everyone, right? Because what's best for me, Silver Dragons, might be not the best for someone else.
true.
What are
True.
some of the
As
factors,
people,
Yankee?
well, you mentioned hard to sell,
Mm-hmm.
but and here's the other thing, and I've talked a lot about this in the past, but I don't stack bars a whole lot, and I
Yeah.
know that's not necessarily a popular uh, decision to make, but um, maybe less so with silver, but definitely with gold. The fakes are amazing and very common. So I'm really concerned about making sure I test my silver, whether it be rounds, even American Silver Eagles, right? So it's important to know that this is legit when you buy it. And sometimes, if it's not a coin, like from a sovereign country, and it's
Right.
a bar, you really do need to test it. So I think that's important.
Yep. And even the coins you should be testing as well.
Yes, you should test the coins, test your rounds, test bars.
And we will go
Yeah.
over that for sure. I got some different ways to test here,
Mm,
and I know you have some as well. But another thing I wanted to bring up is, the right answer for what is the best silver to stack might be
mm,
different from me to you because of budget, or even like where
mhm.
you live too. I mean, what's available in my area might be different for you. Here we can get the American Silver Eagles. Yeah, they do have a premium, but these were the best thing to stack when I first started stacking,
Isn't that
and
amazing?
we could get them for a pretty low premium here in the states. But if you live across the pond, maybe Europe or something, or Australia, then this definitely would not be the best thing to stack for you.
That is a challenge. You're right. And
So
again, you got to be careful on what kind of dates and key dates or semi numismatic stuff if you're trying to again stack for weight and be get the best price. But it does depend on your stacking strategy. I have a very uh, specific strategy that I like to follow, so it does kind of guide me in the types of silver I get. But this year's different, right? And last year,
yep.
2020 and 2021, different years to be stacking than before.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
There is one more. There is one more type of silver that might not be the best, and I've had people, on both sides of this argument, and that is foreign silver. Like,
Mm.
if I'm here's a box of mine, right? So I have some. This is from Israel.
Oh,
Really
cool.
interesting stuff, right? I know.
Wow, yeah,
Um,
that's really cool.
this is from the Netherlands. Very cool.
Nice. And I'm sure you
Um,
could get this cheap too, especially if you're buying it from a local coin
exactly.
shop. Could even be under
Yes.
spot.
It could be at or even under sometimes. So, I mean, Helvetica. Here's a Swiss 1 franc. I think they
One
do on
franc,
that.
nice. The gold was 20 franc, the silver's 1 franc.
So, I mean, you can go down this route, but here's the challenge. I'm not always sure what the amount of silver is in these things, right?
Yeah,
I mean, this one's
exactly.
from Mexico, right? This one, I think, is only,
10.
what is it, 10%,
I
I
think
think?
I
Yeah.
think that one is 10%.
Yeah.
It's yeah, that's the thing. You buy it, maybe you buy it at spot, but you forget how much silver's in it, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe you only have one or two of
Ooh.
them, and they're hard to resell. That's the thing. They're hard to
I got
resell.
this one. You're right. They're hard to resell. So, yeah. They're fun, though, I have to admit. I mean, they're beautiful. Some of them are really pretty.
Yeah. Definitely fun
But,
to collect, but I think
yeah,
probably not the best for stacking.
probably not.
Okay, so should we get to testing the silver?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because when you're buying silver, obviously, probably the most important thing is that you buy real silver. And if you buy from legitimate online bullion dealers, that usually is not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Our
Mm-hmm.
sponsor, Hero Bullion, they do a great job providing authentic silver and whatnot, but you should know how to test it.
Yeah, I mean, I do trust. I mean, sometimes, I mean, when you're buying online, right, you're not going to be able to test it. You have to trust that the dealer you're dealing with is legit,
Right.
and they test it. They know what's real. Again, Hero Bullion, no question about it. So it's nice to know that you're dealing with. But if you're buying from even a local coin shop dealer,
Oh,
you
yeah.
should test it. If you're
Absolutely.
buying in the back of your car in a in the parking lot of Walgreens,
Then you should
you
be
should test
testing
it.
it.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
So, what are some easy ways to test the silver on the fly to make sure
Mm.
it's real, and also cheap ways to test? Because I'm going to show you how to use my Sigma Metalytics verifier, but these
Oh
are pretty expensive. I think they're like $800 right now. So maybe
Maybe that's why the cheap Yankee doesn't buy it.
so okay, what about the
Oh,
magnet test, right? Can you show them, Yankee, how to do a proper magnet test?
oh yeah, absolutely. So you need to have a rare earth or neodymium magnet.
Yep.
You can't just grab, a refrigerator magnet to do this test, right? It's not going to fly. But silver it's not magnetic, but it has magnetic properties built in it.
Right.
So what you want to be able to do is you want to take this
Diamagnetic.
diamagnetic, thank you.
Yes.
Fancy on me. So I did say neodymium. So what you want to do is you want to be able to slide this down and see it go slowly down.
Yep.
Now, of course, if you hold it flat, it's going to go real slow, right? No matter what it is. But
Gotta
if you
be at
put
an
it at a
angle.
good pitch, yeah, at a nice angle, you can see that's going down
And
quite
also, it
slowly.
doesn't stick to it. Like
Good point.
if it had iron in it or something, it would just stick.
I have a few fake ones down there. I'm not going to go grab them, but yes, you just go, yeah, that's a telltale sign it's fake.
That's
So
a fake. And another thing too is copper does have diamagnetic properties as well, so you should be
hmm
weighing your silver. So I got this
that's another one too.
cheap
Yeah,
scale here off Amazon, super cheap.
yep,
I think it
I
was
got mine.
$10 or $15, and you
Yeah,
want to
mine's
weigh the
cheap too.
stuff, right? So here's an eagle. Let's weigh it,
hmm
see what it weighs. And I am in troy ounces, 1.003 troy ounces. So that's real.
That
Um,
works.
it would probably be light if it was a fake, not always. Here's a
Sometimes heavy.
poured silver bar that I made myself. We'll just weigh it for fun.
Oh,
One
we're gonna test your own, huh?
1.03. Yeah, I'll test it on my Sigma machine too, but this one weighs a little over an ounce because I always pour them heavy.
Because you're
Uh,
generous.
yeah, and it's easier. If you pour it light, then you got to remelt it and everything. So, okay,
Right, right.
Do you want me to do a quick little rundown on the Sigma here?
Yeah, I love these things.
All
I might
right.
have to spring for one day. I don't know.
Let's power it up. So if you don't know, these come in a couple different models. This is the cheaper model,
Hmm.
um, and we're gonna go ahead and calibrate it. And then we got to select what we're going to be testing. So let's go down to silver and go 3 nines fine and calibrate one more time. Now we're ready to rock and roll. Now the cool thing
All
about
right.
these is you can leave them in the capsules and it will test. So this one here, as you can see, comes as long as it's in between those brackets, it's legitimate. So that silver round is legitimate. All right. Let's go and throw the American Silver Eagle on there. We know those are 3 nines fine. You can see legitimate. And as I promised, I'll do my silver bar as well.
Okay, here
And
we
you can,
go.
it's real, it's
It's a
real.
fake.
No. But one thing I wanted to say is these machines also will test slabbed coins. So if we go over to like um, 90%, we
Hmm.
can test a Morgan. I do have an older Morgan here, MS64, 1884O.
Right through the slab.
Look at that. Yeah, let's test it.
Yeah,
Let's see if it's real because
yeah.
these could be quite a bit.
You
And
know,
you
you
can
got to be
see
careful. Sometimes they use slabs as a way to hide counterfeits.
that's true. That's very true. So there you go. So anyway, those are some
Nice.
ways you could test your silver to make sure you're buying real silver because I do think
Cool.
that's very important.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right, shall we get to the best? I mean, I feel
What
like
is the best?
it's time. It is time now. You know, you're not buying fake. What you're not buying the absolute dirt cheapest. What is the best? Do you want to go first, Yankee?
I will go first. I will say that rounds have their appeal, and I'm thinking these are pretty. I love the shine on these, but no, it's not my favorite. It's
Okay.
not my best silver in my opinion to be stacking right now in 2021. The Britannias, they are rather inexpensive, but nope. It's not the Eagle either. I have held back on buying Eagles. I think I bought one tube this year.
Wow.
That's it. I know, right? This is what I've been stacking, and this is what I want to continue buying for 2021.
Oh
The
yeah.
Canadian Maple Leafs. And I'll tell you right now, these things are just it's where I'm living at right now. This is the best buy for me. Being up in New Hampshire, it's also a recognizable silver.
Nice.
A Canadian Maple Leaf is definitely what I'm focusing more on right now. I've bought several tubes of them already this year. These are 2014s. I only have
Ooh.
one. Notice the milk. You see the
Yeah.
milk? I stay away from anything earlier
Than
than
2018.
2018s.
Yeah.
2018 is my cutoff. So all
So
these in the tubes are 2018s or later.
okay, so you're saying the number one best silver to stack this
Number
year
one. Number
is
one.
2018 or newer Canadian silver maple leafs.
Bingo.
All right, that's Yankees. Now mine is a little bit different, but mine is also a little bit similar because I think you should always buy 1 ounce increments, and I have a little bit of a story on
Mm.
that.
Hmm.
So
Ooh,
here's
Silver
my
Dragon
story.
story.
Yes, yes. So before I ever bought silver, ever,
Hmm.
never in my life had I bought some. I was in a coin shop in Vancouver, Washington, and I was buying some Indian head pennies. All right. I like collecting pennies. I've done it ever since I was a kid. But
Right.
anyway, I mentioned to the guy at the store that I was thinking about buying silver, and I'd never bought any before. And he was
Hmm.
telling me, yeah, we'd love to sell you silver. We got 1 ounce rounds, we got coins, we got 10 ounce bars, 100 ounce bars, whatever you want, we got it, right? And I was like, okay, sounds great. And as I was walking out of the store, there was a older gentleman there, a stacker, another customer
Hmm.
who he stopped me and he said, "Hey, I just wanted to give you a little bit of advice." And he said, "Never buy anything in bulk that isn't 1 ounce. That's what he said. And I was like, why? And he's like, they hold their value better.
Mhm.
For the long haul, 1 ounce is the absolute best size you could ever buy. And I, to this day, that's what I stack. If you watch my channel or Yankees channel, both of us prefer the 1 ounce. And so there you go. What I do think is the best silver to stack this year in 2021 is the generics.
Mhm.
But also, I do agree with you, Yankee. The bullion coins from other countries, not America, are top tier.
Yep.
So either generics or bullion coins. You know, you mentioned the Britannias, the Maples. You also have the Philharmonics. Those are a great option. Or the Kangaroos from Australia. Great options. I think those are the best just because the premiums on Eagles are crazy.
Right.
And so, if you want to stack government issued bullion, then try other countries. But I still think the 1 ounce generic rounds, like the one I showed earlier, are an amazing option too. This is the year for the generics, I think.
Okay, that's your opinion, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right. All right. I know it is not American Silver Eagles.
Isn't that
It's
crazy?
tough. It's tough. I know we did our monster box race and oh man, I love the Eagle. But if you watch an early video of mine way back, I compared. I think a lot of people did, but I compared the American Silver Eagle with the Canadian Maple Leaf, and I'll tell you, it was very close. And right now, with the prices and where they're at, I think this is it. This is a 2018. I bought this in 2018. There is not one drop of milk on this.
Wow.
None of them have milk. I'm telling you, their mint shield really did seem to work, at least for me, and I'm very happy with these
You
silver
know, and,
maples.
and I will say too, I did do a video on the best bullion coins for 2021, and
Mm-hmm.
in that video, I did not put the Eagles number one either. So times are changing. The Eagles
Isn't
are
that
just
weird?
way too high premiums. But
I agree.
as we wrap up this video, I did want to talk about some different places where you could buy silver private party because you
Mm-hmm.
could get it cheaper than some of the bullion dealers. Because the best deals I've ever got were private party. Is that the same for you, Yankee?
Totally the best. It's unbelievable how often I've been able to get at or sometimes even under spot deals. It's incredible.
Yeah, I
Private party.
yep. I've gotten under spot gold and silver
Yep.
private party. So, what are some of the places you would buy silver from you know, without a bullion dealer. And I should mention too, this is not
Mhm.
for new stackers. You got to be comfortable testing the stuff first, right? Knowing what you're looking at. But where have you bought from before, Yankee?
Well, I used to buy from Let Go, but I think they were bought out by Offer Up. I've used Offer Up. These
Okay.
are online sort of community type apps that let you link buyers and sellers. I've used Facebook Marketplace,
Okay.
and I've connected up with Instagram with some people too. So the latest one I just did was for gold. Actually, I got it at spot, and that was through Instagram. Somebody that wanted to get some money. Now, I tell everybody when they sell their silver or gold to me, I'm like, "Are you sure? Do you really?" Because I'm the prepper stacker. I don't want to ever get rid of this stuff, right? I hold on and hold on tight. So I asked him, "Are you liquidating? Why? Or is it okay?" I'm just
Right.
concerned for them. Most of the time, there's a reason, and they're keeping some of their stack. They just need to liquidate to get some money, right? And so
Gotcha.
and they're very kind, nice. I enjoy the interactions. I usually film it because it's so cool.
Nice.
But Offer Up definitely. You got to be careful. There's two different types of people in general on these online, sites.
Right.
There's some that are absolutely clueless as to what their silver coin is. Okay, sometimes you look at it and you're like, yeah, no, sorry, 1972, it's not silver, dude.
Right.
And they don't know, or they're charging some ridiculous amount of money. Other times there are, just legitimate, hey, you know what, I just need to get rid of this stuff. My grandfather died, I got handed this stuff, I don't want it, I'm just going to go to Facebook Marketplace and see if I can just dump it.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you want to connect up with.
Those are the ones for sure. Now, some of the other places that I know people in our community have bought from, Craigslist, I know
Hmm.
has been good for some people. Reddit does have a place as well, the Silver Bugs on Reddit,
Wall Street
and
Silver? Is that what
I'm sure there's some there as well.
Yeah, there is some there. I just found that out too. I haven't done anything
I
with
think
them
there's
yet.
another one, PMs for sale on Reddit.
Ooh.
And also the Silver Forum. There's forums and things like that. But I'll just say
Mm.
for me personally, the best has
Hmm.
always been Instagram. That's my bread and
Hmm.
butter for private
Yep.
party. So I would say get connected with some of the dealers on Instagram. And a lot of
Hmm.
them are actually big, legitimate dealers, but they just have an Instagram page, and maybe you could get some screaming deals that way as well.
Good idea.
All
Yeah.
right. Anything else, Yankee, on the best silver to stack in 2021? I know it's kind of a longer one.
It's these. I love the maples, dude. I do. I have to admit. Rounds are probably my second. Okay.
All
I
right.
would say I'd go with you. Generic rounds.
So,
That's our
okay,
number two.
our number one and number two are generic rounds, and then maples and other government issued bullion. Well, that was super fun. Thank you
Yeah,
so
man.
much, Yankee Stacking, for coming on the show with me today. And I hope everyone watching enjoyed the discussion. And we'll see you next time on Silver Pros.
Stack like a pro.